Hello everyone, it's Jimmy here, and here it is, the Season Discovery PvP video. Before I start, if you enjoyed the video, consider hitting that like and subscribe button to help this channel grow. And leave me a comment below, let me know what classes you have been PvPing with in Season Discovery. Now, let's begin. So, with Season Discovery we have seen some interesting things happening when it comes to PvP. The Ashenvale open world PvP zone, an event that wasn't really a PvP event, the classes dominating in PvP, and Blizzard's response to these metas. Let's start by talking about Hunters. As many of you know, Hunters have been very broken throughout Phase 1, with their pets doing a lot of damage in both open world and battlegrounds, and seeing a lot of tuning throughout. It seems like every week we would get some Hunter update. In fact, I have a story about one Hunter on my server whose entire playstyle was to simply sit in a spot in Red Ridge Mountains and use Eyes of the Beast to control his pet. He would then proceed to kill Alliance players, and after speaking to this player, they told me that they had managed to farm 50k honor from just doing this. That was in 1 week. Now, while I thought this was a pretty funny thing to do, I do think this is a broken thing to be able to do. And I also believe this should be fixed, as it isn't really fair or enjoyable to others. It is also rather unbalanced, as the hunter pet he was using was simply unkillable and did a lot of damage. In fact, it got so bad, and while I was there in the area, I would see Alliance kill squads roaming the area looking for him, but unable to find him because he was hiding in a spot that they just couldn't find him in. And then, of course, you have hunters in Warsong Gulch. Being a top pick for pre-mades along with priests, they've just become high damage and immortal. Now, while on the subject of Warsong Gulch, damage reduced by 20% inside Warsong Gulch was not something that should have been implemented in Classic WoW. It was also never stated in any patch notes that I'm aware of, and it made Warsong Gulch just feel off. It was also not working with certain classes and hunter pets. I'm not sure if this part has been changed, but I don't believe, and a lot of people agree, it should be in any more BGs going forward, as it just makes the experience feel, well, terrible compared to the open world. World PvP, in my opinion, has been the better of the two in Season of Discovery, but it's not without its problems. A lot of my time spent world PvPing would be going to dungeons while leveling, during Ashenvale events, or going to Alliance zones to fight players there. I would also make my way to lower level zones and help lower level players who were being ganked by groups of hunters with their scorpions. Now, the PvP community has been very vocal in a lot of these issues, and it is my hope that these things get fixed in Phase 2. But with how PvP has been handled in the past, it's not going to be high hopes, sadly. But I may be wrong. After all, Season Discovery was seemingly meant to be a lot more PvP focused, so them putting in 20% reduction in damage inside Warsong Gulch and not balancing some classes, it kind of goes against that. So pre-mades have been, well, a bit of a vocal point, and I have discussed this in the past videos. And the footage in the background was from a stream I did where I queued solo for a certain amount of games, and then I joined pub groups. And I want to say 85 to 90% of the games I played solo were against pre-mades, and would often end the same way. We leave the spawn, see it's a pre-made, and half the team just gives up, gets killed, and sits in graveyard until the game ends. This alone simply put me off queuing. And the same thing would happen while even in pugs. It just seems, unless you have a full group built up of 3 priest healers, hunters, 1 warrior, 1 mage, you wouldn't be able to compete at all. Now, this is just not fair or fun. I can't see how it's fun for pre-mades either. Outside of farming for rep, the game's just over in next to no time. Unless you are going against another pre-mage who's on an even footing, how is this meant to be enjoyable for anyone? I myself want to see 2 queues for Warsong, but I know a percentage of the community do not want this. So rank 3 was the highest we could attain in Phase 1, and while it's nice that we could rank up to that level, or rank, after ranking there was just no reason to PvP. Now, I would enjoy PvPing a lot more just for fun. It's actually my favourite thing to do in WoW. just queuing BGs all day. However, with the damage reduction, the pre-mades, and the balance being off, it just isn't fun to PvP in Season of Discovery at the moment. What I think Blizzard should do is 1. Remove 20% damage reduction. 2. Tune the classes a little bit better. And 3. Implement solo and group queuing inside Warsong Gulch and possibly other BGs going forward. Now, that was a lot of negative, I know. And I want to stress that I do not believe that SOD is bad. I just want to see things change for the better. The removal of the honor decay is a very good thing that was implemented in Era and will make the rank 14 grind easier overall when we hit the last stages of Season of Discovery. And I plan on ranking to rank 14 this time, but if these changes are not implemented, I do believe we will be running into new issues going forward. Well, that's it, guys. Just some of my thoughts on Season of Discovery PvP. I hope to see some of these changes in the future with classes becoming more fleshed out. In Phase 2, I'm sure we will see some interesting things happening in PvP. Also, getting Arathi Basin will hopefully split up the PvP player base a little bit. So, once again, I would like to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.